Well, let's see who else we can talk to. We already spoke, didn't we? I have to get back upstairs. Very welcome back. Yes, you're already on my team. Weird dialogue with that fella. I like his little Decker gun, though. Or, sorry, rigger gun. Gun show? What do you got for me? You find Wu sitting on his bed and staring at the floor when you come to his cabin. He rubs his head up and back, occasionally stopping to softly bounce his palm against his forehead. When he notices you, he closes his eyes and shakes his head. Not in the mood to talk right now. I gotta wrap my head around this Edward Sang thing. Let's talk about something else then. Not right now, Phineas. I don't want to talk about our last run or the walled city, the triads, or anything else. I just gotta think, work through this. Wu clenches his jaw. 16 years. We lived with him 16 years and we never knew the man. 16 motherfucking years. Talk to you later. Okay, bye. Maybe you can figure what the fuck Isabel's problem is now that we sorted out that stupid quest. Isabel half turns away from the octopus's main display. She looks up at you, blinking. The memory stick that you acquired from Rhombus has already been slotted into one of the computer's many expansion ports. The cheery red plastic that sheathes the stick looks slick and wet in the light. You did good back there. The run went well. You fucked up. Her eyes flit down on the memory stick. We got the stick. The key to my old memories. All I have to do now is slot it. You haven't done it yet? No, not yet. I mean, I can. It'd be as simple as plugging myself in and tapping a key. My old memories are all mine if I want them. So what the fuck are you waiting for? That's easy for you to say. I know that I have to do this, but it isn't going to be pleasant. Imagine knowing that you had to jam a needle in your eye. How much of a hurry would that you be in to do it? If I knew that had to happen, I'd want it to get it over with quick. How very stalwart of you. For my part, I'm in no hurry to experience pain, and I have every reason to believe that this is going to hurt. It isn't easy, you know, shifting organic memories into headwear storage, wiping the originals and locking them away for safekeeping. That's corporate level mind sculpting, serious business. I'm assuming there's a point to all this? The point is that I wouldn't have let an amateur tinker with my brain if it wasn't important. Whatever I've got up there, I was desperate to get rid of it. Makes a girl wonder why. Tell me, Isabel, would it have been easier for you to have Rhombus just wipe the memories? Yes, much easier. Still not without risk, but you didn't do that. You had him move the memories into storage. Why? There's a long pause. Because I knew one day I might need them. Well, so why are we talking about this? You made this decision twice already. Once when you had the memories moved into storage, and again when you took us on a run to get the key. Yeah, you're right. I've already decided what to do. I'm just dragging my feet because I'm afraid. You shouldn't let fear decide for you. Acknowledge it and move on. After another long pause, Isabel stares at her feet, thinking. Finally, she looks back up at you. You're right, I know that. I knew before we went to get the code. I just needed to talk it through with someone, not Gobbet. Someone who could take the situation seriously. I needed to talk through with you. Hey, that's what I'm here for. Big brother Stubtoe. Without another word, she pulls a cable from a pile on the floor and slots it into her data jack. The other end disappears in one of the octopus's many brains. Her fingers fly across the octopus's keyboard, rattling off a series of audible clicks. Finally, her thumb hovers over the execute key. All right, Stubtoe Williams, wish me luck. The key depresses with an audible click. Isabel's eyes flutter and her cheeks flush with blood. Oh, no. She starts shaking her head from side to side, wringing her hands. A progress bar on the octopus's auxiliary monitor slowly climbs. Oh, fuck. What's going on? The progress bar climbs to 100. Isabel snatches the cable back out of her data jack and covers her eyes with her hands. She's shivering. She clutches her temples in the palms of her hands. Now I remember why I didn't want these anymore. Are you alright? No, I'm not alright. I'm the opposite of alright. She clutches at her skull like she's afraid it's going to crack open. There's a lot of bad stuff in here. Things that happened to our friends of mine, relatives. Things that I watched happen. No. They're just memories. Memories are crystal clear. It's like all this shit happened yesterday. I can remember watching friends die, and I can see their screaming faces just as clearly as I did the day that it happened. It's like watching a Trid show, but it's my life, and it's real. Is there anything I can do to help? She screws her eyes shut in concentration, beads of sweat hanging heavy on her brow. I think so, yes. It'll take time for me to sift through all of this. She opens her eyes again, looks up at you. I'll hold on to these memories for as long as I can, hopefully long enough to reveal something useful. No promises beyond that, though. Okay, do your best. I always do. One thing that does jump out at me, Rhombus archives some software up there. She taps her temple with a fingernail. It's like sitting on top of the memories, all wrapped up like a present. Don't know why he did it, but it looks like a combat package. Combat package? Some sort of basic attack modification. I'll have to study it to be sure, but I think I can use it. That's good. We're probably never going to use you again, but that's good. It's all very exciting, but for now, just give me some space, okay? Like I said, it's going to take time for me to make sense of this stuff. Alright, I'll check back with you later. Go away. Yep, bye. We'll go talk to our pal Gobbet, who we've never taken on a single mission. How are you? Gobbet glances up at the sound of your approach. A slight smile crosses her face. Hey, pal. Are you ready for your next lesson? Hit me with it. Straight to business. I like that. Good. This one is about people like Auntie Cheng and why we need them. There won't be a Q&A session after the story, but I want you to listen up. It's important. All right. All right, so here's the upfront lesson. Fixers are important. You can't just go to a Johnson yourself and get a job. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't. It's a bad idea all around. You're giving someone a cut of your profits for no reason. She shakes her head. No, Seattle, not for no reason. Auntie Cheng and people like her serve a purpose. You get a job from her and you can trust that she's vetted the client. That's important. It protects the whole team. She takes in a breath, lets it out slowly. You remember the lesson from last time, the one about Sui and the shiny object? Yep. Well, after the run was over, we went back to the sinking ship for some R&R. Sui had told us that the client would be sending a boat to collect the shiny object in the morning. All that we had to do was keep the thing safe until the handoff. We were in a celebratory mood. We'd killed an evil wizard and stolen a priceless artifact. A good night's work by anyone's standards. Honu and Egret got good and drunk in record time. Sui went back to his cabin with the shiny object to, I don't know, stare at it for a while or something. I retired to my cabin and crashed out. It had been a long night. I remember waking up to sounds. Yelling maybe? I was groggy and they were far away. I couldn't quite make them out. The clock said 4:30 a.m. People were always partying on the raft, playing loud music, shooting off fireworks, that kind of thing. So loud noises early in the morning weren't unusual, but something felt off somehow. I used to get that every now and again in the Barrens. I learned to listen to it. She nods. Yeah, it's a lot like a panic attack, really. That full body certainty that something's wrong. So I got up to investigate. If something was wrong, I wanted to know. And if it wasn't, I figured that I might as well get in on the party. I stepped out into the hallway with my foot slipped. I came down hard, landed on my ass, and found myself sitting in a pool of blood. That's not good. No, it was pretty bad. So it was pretty obvious by this point that something had gone horribly wrong. My first thought was that the shiny object might have, I don't know, unleashed something. After what I saw through to that warehouse, I wouldn't have been surprised. I shook that up pretty quick, though. I knew what this was. Our client was playing us. He'd hired us to steal the thing, and rather than paying us for the job, he'd sent another team to take it away. So what did you do? I got up and beelined for Malvina's cabin. She was the closest thing the sinking ship had to a leader and the strongest rat shaman on the raft. Why not head straight to Sui's cabin? Because I'm not an idiot. Sorry, that wasn't aimed at you, but think about it for a second. If there was a retrieval team coming for the shiny object and they were strong enough to handle Sui while he was holding it, what chance would I have of stopping them? I figured that it was time to bring out the big guns. Malvina was the one who I could get them from. I passed some pretty bad stuff on my way down to Malvina's cabin. There was Old Man Juan's vault all over again. The torn up bodies, the blood-streaked floors. I saw people who had been cut apart with machetes, scorch marks on the container walls. She bites her lip, grimacing at the unpleasant memories stewing in her head. Deep down in the pit of my gut, I could feel the thrumming vibration of the shiny object. That heartbeat feeling that I had in the warehouse, it was back and stronger than ever. Whatever that rock was, it was awake. That'd be my cue to bail. I didn't either, believe me. But whatever happening on board, it was killing people, and messily at that. I didn't want to risk getting cut down on my way to a life raft. Besides, Sui was my friend and the leader of my team. I thought that I had a chance to help him, so I took it. I sprinted down the last stretch of corridor to Malvina's cabin. I can't tell you what a relief it was to put my shoulder into the door, to feel it pop open and go tumbling into that room. Then somebody smashed a gun into my face. It was Cadmus, my friend. He jammed the muzzle of his Super Warhawk into my cheek so hard it hurt, and then he grabbed me by the belt with his other hand. I wasn't going anywhere. Just over his shoulder, I saw Malvina. She didn't look amused. Did they think that you were in on the attack? Yeah, only it wasn't an attack. Our client had nothing to do with it. Turns out there was no client. Sui lied to us, and by helping to steal the shiny object, I'd unwittingly giving what he needed and fomented mutiny. She pauses for a moment, gathers her rats in her hands, and lifts them to her shoulders. They scurry over the leather of her coat and disappear into her hair. As it turns out, betrayal hurts, Seattle. Malvina felt it, and I felt it too. Sui had been a friend. I just risked my life to save his, 4 hours ago. And he tricked me into helping him do something unthinkable. Well, I'd have killed him. Yeah, well, we're getting to that. But I wanted to, believe me. As it was, I did just about the only thing I could to think of to extricate myself from my predicament. I fast-talked my way out of it. I opened up by doubling down on my loyalty to Malvina, Cadmus, and the status quo on the sinking ship, swearing my undying friendship, you know the drill. I did a good job of it, but they still looked a little iffy. Iffy with a warhawk is bad, so I volunteered to prove myself by stealing the shiny object back from Sui. I know, right? Not my style at all. But then I didn't really have a choice. I'd inadvertently helped to arm the bastard who was tearing our friends and neighbors apart. I don't think I could have cleared my name without taking his weapon away again. It was a hell of a night, and I don't want to get into many of the gory details. Friends died, hell, friends killed each other. It was brother against brother, all that jazz, and Sui's indiscriminate use of the shiny object let a lot of things into this world that shouldn't have been. So did you steal it back? Yes, it wasn't easy, but I got it. How the fuck did you do that? Lies and misdirection, trickery, Rat helped. Some of the things that Sui let loose actually came in handy. He'd summoned so many of them that he couldn't hope to control all of them, and that gave me an opening to use them to my advantage. I managed to trick my way past Sui's supporters in the astral menagerie that he'd summoned. Wasn't easy, but I did it. And then I stole the shiny object and all was right with the world. And yeah, I'm intentionally glossing over the details. I had to do some things that I'm not proud of, and people died because of it. But I got the damn thing, and I got it back to Malvina. What happened then? Long story short, Malvina put the shiny object to better use than Sui ever did. She took the thing like she'd grown up using it. We still lost dozens of people, but Sui's side lost more. Cadmus was critically wounded, but he pulled through. After the skirmish, Malvina held an assembly. She told everybody that there'd be new rules for life on the raft. Anyone who refused to follow them could leave, and if you broke them, you were done. The rules to sea and all that. After the pronouncement, she turned on the surviving mutineers. Honu was one of them. He'd been on Sui's plan the whole time. She didn't kill them, but she did exile from the sinking ship. And for people in our economic bracket, that was pretty good as a one-way trip to the walled city. I'd be willing to bet they're all dead by now. In the wake of Malvina's ultimatum, 5 survivors left the sinking ship. Why the fuck did you leave? I had to go. We may have washed the blood off of the decks, but the energy of the sinking ship had changed. It wasn't the carefree heaven that I'd loved anymore. And as sensible as Malvina's rules were, I wasn't up to living under them. We parted on good but sad terms, and as you'd expect, we drifted apart over the years. It's funny, I hadn't even thought of Malvina or the sinking ship in years. Not until I decided to teach you your previous lesson, it all came flooding back in. She pauses, turns to you. That's the story, it's finished, but I want to circle back on the lesson that I gave you up front because it's important. We need Auntie Cheng to bring us work, that's obvious, but we also needed to keep her honest. We need her to keep us honest, to be sure that we on the team are playing straight with one another. Auntie Cheng's reputation rides on the legitimacy of the jobs that she brings us, and that, more than anything, is why we need her. If we didn't have Auntie Cheng or someone like her, we'd eventually tear ourselves apart. It happened on the sinking ship, it could happen again in Hioi. So anyway, that's the lesson. If you've got follow-up questions, go ahead and ask them. What did you do with the fucking magical sphere? Well, first she used it to get rid of the things that Sui had let loose. Then she put it away for safekeeping. It's probably still there on the sinking ship, ensconced in some shrine or another, held under lock and key. At least she's keeping it safe. She shrugs. I'd have preferred it if she ditched the thing, but in the end, that wasn't my choice to make. From what I've heard, she's still in power over there, so I guess that worked out okay. And Sui? That walking colostomy bag was already dead, eaten by his own monsters after I took the shiny object away. Turns out he wasn't much good at controlling them without it. Her voice fills with grim satisfaction. He didn't even live long enough to watch his mutiny fail. Any thoughts on that last run you didn't come on? You didn't bring me on our last run. Okay, bye. Fuck you. Bye. No, oh boy. Seattle, thanks for listening. These lessons are for your benefit, but I think that they may help me too. And it's nice to be taken seriously every now and again. Okay. Next lesson, we'll see you. Now get a move on. I've got Gobbet things to do. Guess we'll take another nap. A stabbing pain in your stomach jolts you awake. Your entire abdomen is cramping up. You roll in your cot, willing the shooting pains that radiate from your stomach to go away. Your mouth is bone dry and your tongue is swollen. It feels thick and articulate, like a useless slab of meat. A quick glance at your PDA tells you it's 4 a.m. Outside of your cabin, the rest of Hioi sleeps. All you remember of the dream that you awoke from is a horrible, unfulfilled yearning and a need to get where you were going first. Others were behind you. You could feel the heat of their breath on your neck. If you were to beat them to your destination, you could slam the door in their faces, keep them out and away from what was yours. But if they overtook you, you'd feel that terrible longing forever. As you grasp at the last fleeting memories of the dream, a wave of exhaustion washes over you. It feels like you've been drugged. You collapse back into your cot and into a black, dreamless sleep. When you open your eyes again, the sun filters in under your door. It's morning. Well then. We've got that mission. Remember, we had to go in the archaeological ruins, so we'll do that. Oh, are you dead, by the way? The gibbering transient wheels fit to face you, his eyes bulging out of his skull. He's a young man, probably in his late 30s, but his hair's gone bone white. He reaches towards you with hand hooked in claws, and his entire body begins to tremble. You've seen them, I know it. I can smell it on you. He reaches his hands to his face and claws at his cheeks, his fingernails digging into his flesh. The devils. The ones that are coming and the runt that leads the pack. Another transient glances over you. He got into town yesterday, came in on the same boat that we did, seemed normal enough at the time, but now he's stark raving mad. I'm not mad. His voice rises into a scream. I've seen them. They're coming. They are on their way here now. You want my advice? Get as far from the walled city as you can. It's too late to run. They've seen me. His bulging eyes dart from you to the others on the street. Spittle flies from his mouth as he speaks. They're right behind me, always behind me, driving me like cattle, breathing down my neck. I can smell the stink of their breath. I felt them in my nightmares too, brother. He nods, sobbing. Tears run in rivulets into the gashes that he tore in his cheeks. The things I've seen, they're coming. They're all coming, all clawing at the gate. She's already slipping through. He seizes up mid-sentence. His eyes roll back into his head and he falls to the pavement. When he hits the ground, he doesn't get up. He isn't breathing. Jesus. Check the man's pulse. Nothing. The transient stares down at the fallen man's body, his brow furrowed. To hell with this place. I'm getting out of here. I know that it's none of my business, but you should do the same. I'd love to, but I can't. Your call. Best of luck. We were going to buy a talisman so we can cast Armor 3, weren't we? Thanks for reminding me, transient. What is this? Oh, right. There's an Auntie Cheng mission again. We've got a backlog of missions. Crafty. I'd like to see your wares. Because now I can afford that wacky thing. Outfits? No. Consumables. +1 conjuring. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. There was a conjuring fetish. I know there was. Hey, hey, hey now. Hey now. Fucking magical mystic shamanship merchant. You had a conjuring fetish. Because I couldn't afford it. +1 spell casting. +1. Wait, did I already buy it? Is that what I did? Nope, I totally didn't. Stash. Revert. Cancel. +1 willpower, +1 spellcasting, +1 willpower, +1 spirit control. God damn it, I thought there was a conjuring fetish. +1 charisma. I already have one of those, don't I? +1 charisma, shamanic fetish. God damn it. Can't cast armor without the conjuring fetish. Do one last skim over because it's going to be awkward if it's actually here and I don't miss it and everyone's going to comment that you totally missed it, you idiot. +1 charisma, you're junk. +1 charisma, +1 spirit control, +1 willpower, +1 willpower and spell casting. Son of a bitch. Oh, fuck, right. Probably level up our acid bolt. Yeah, no wonder we haven't been killing people. Acid bolt 1 only does 4 damage. Acid bolt 3 on their hand goes into my inventory. Bunch of spells we can't afford. An area effect that increases the cost of magic by 1 AP. Increases the friendly target's AP by 1 for 4 rounds. That lasts a long time. Requires Conjuring 6. We're gonna go for it because we'll make enough money. If this fetish exists, we'll make money for it from this mission. Confirm. Okay, we've got Acid Bolt 1, which we don't need. Haste 1, Haste 3. Lightning Barrier, Armor 1. We should probably buy Armor 2. But it's too late for that. Thanks, Crafty. See you around. See you around. Man, can't believe I've been running around with level 1 Acid Bolt this whole time. Whoops. Do we have metadata? Yo, T0, I gotta go, man. This is the cat I was telling you about. Law speaking into the air as you approach. His bulky goggles flash with an unusually diverse array of conditions lights. The goggle servos whine softly as the set of lenses focuses on you. Stubtoe Williams, what's going on? What have you been up to? Wait, were you just telling someone about me? Don't worry. T0 is Wampoan. He's so cool he's like refrigerant. So what can I hook you up with today? Got some metadata for you, brother. Yo, tell me what you got. The network runs on information. I wrecked the Feng Shui at Wuxing Sky Tower. What? Law waves his finger around his ears at signal. Are you crazy? All that geomancy, Feng Shui, ancient sorcerer stuff? It's a bunch of drivel, it's all. His voice rises in mockery. Oh, we proactively boosted our quarterly outcomes by mindfully onlining our beige cushions into a little circle and mooning each other. Spare me, yo. Okay, we full on trashed the Sky Tower's top floor. Boom, that's what I'm talking about. Stone Cold Thrash Fest. He breathes a big sigh of relief and exhilaration. Why didn't you just tell me that? I guess you just had to build up to it. Well, let's see what we got for you. Grab a program. Here's my surplus stacks. Let me just take some fucking money, dude. I'll bill this as a data expense. Information is money. Boom. More metadata. The Red Dragon Association just got framed for industrial espionage at Ares, Asia. Damn, that's cold. How'd that go down? Someone stole the prototype from Ares, Asia while planting evidence. Vicious. The buzz in network is that you're getting chewed up right now over in... Oh, they're getting chewed up right now over in Yao Simong. I wonder if Ares is the chewer. Let's see what I've got for you. Some programs? Sweet. Give me the money instead. Information is money. Boom. Metadata? Never mind. Yo, Stubtoe Williams, let me know if you need anything. You're the biggest carnivore in the Kong. I'm very unimpressed with Hong Kong if a fucking surviving 4 missions makes me top dog. But we've got business on this run that I accepted like fucking a month ago.